Can you tell our audience really quickly why, if your stock falls 50%, a CEO shouldn't get a 20% raise?
Well, at least that's what a couple companies have said recently with some shareholder votes. Both Anglo American, a major diversified mining company, and BP, both in their shareholder votes, both companies had either large plurality or a majority of their shareholders saying no to the pay packages that were proposed by the board for these company CEOs. In the case of Bob Dudley, who's the CEO of BP, he was looking at a 20% raise to about $19.6 million annually, and
which is absurd.
It all comes down to how you evaluate what how you structure your compensation packages. And if you look at some of the ways that BP had structured it, it was rather favorable to the business on these certain metrics that looked favorable almost regardless of the current price environment or the total return that a shareholder would get. Contrast that with some like ExxonMobil or Chevron CEOs. Both of them saw pretty decent-sized declines in their salary from 2014 to 2015 because their compensation packages were based somewhat on total return. And when you have your stock drop 20%, 30% in a year, some of that is going to be reflected in your pay package. So this is one of those things, and I think as a shareholder, it's kind of one of the nice things where you can actually say no to something like this and actually have a voice in it. And that's one of the great things about being an individual shareholder of a company is you, as little as it may be, you still have a voice in what goes on in the company. You can say, hey, you guys are paying your CEO too much, or you can sometimes bring up amendments for like oil companies. You see a lot of them. They have to bring forth votes on things like climate change disclosure. So it's encouraging to see shareholders actually holding companies' feet to the fire for a change, because it's sometimes these guys can get away with a few things every once in a while, and to see this happening is a little encouraging.